The weeks following William and Kate's separation felt like an eternity for both of them. Kate threw herself into work with renewed determination, using her pain as motivation to prove her worth beyond her relationship with the prince. She accepted a position with her family's party planning business, Party Pieces, where she could contribute to the company's online catalog and marketing efforts. The familiar environment of working with her parents provided comfort during an emotionally turbulent time. Kate's friends rallied around her during this difficult period, organizing girls' nights out and weekend trips to help distract her from the constant media speculation about her breakup. However, even these simple pleasures became complicated by the photographers who continued to follow her every move. Pictures of Kate looking thin and tired appeared regularly in tabloid newspapers, with cruel commentary about her appearance and speculation about her emotional state. Despite the public scrutiny, Kate demonstrated remarkable resilience and grace. She maintained her exercise routine, often spotted jogging through the streets of London or attending fitness classes. These activities provided not only physical benefits but also crucial mental health support during a time when she felt her world had been turned upside down. Her dedication to staying healthy and active showed a strength of character that impressed even her harshest critics. William, meanwhile, was struggling with his own emotional turmoil while maintaining his military duties. His fellow officers noticed his distraction during training exercises, though none dared to comment directly on his personal life. The prince found solace in the physical challenges of military service, pushing himself harder during training as a way to cope with the emptiness he felt without Kate in his life. The turning point came during a mutual friend's wedding in May 2007. Both William and Kate attended the celebration, though they had agreed beforehand to maintain distance and civility for the sake of their hosts. However, seeing each other across the crowded reception hall awakened feelings both had been trying to suppress. They found themselves stealing glances throughout the evening, remembering happier times and questioning whether their separation had been a mistake. Later that evening, they found themselves alone on the hotel terrace overlooking the countryside. The conversation that followed was honest and painful, with both acknowledging the mistakes they had made and the pressures that had driven them apart. William admitted that his military commitments had left him unable to provide the emotional support Kate needed during the most difficult period of media attention. Kate, in turn, acknowledged that she had perhaps been too quick to retreat. When the going got tough, the reconciliation process was gradual and careful. Both had learned valuable lessons during their time apart, about their individual strength and the true nature of their feelings for each other. They agreed to take things slowly, rebuilding their relationship on a foundation of better communication and mutual support. This time, they would be more strategic about managing media attention and protecting their private moments together. William's approach to their renewed relationship showed a new maturity and understanding of what Kate needed from him. He began to include her more deliberately in his social circle and made greater efforts to protect her from unnecessary media exposure. When they attended events together, he was more attentive to her comfort level and quicker to intervene when photographers became too aggressive. Kate, for her part, had emerged from their separation with a stronger sense of her own identity and capabilities. Her experience working in the fashion industry and with her family's business had given her confidence in her professional abilities. She no longer felt like she was simply waiting for William to propose. Instead, she was building a life that would be fulfilling regardless of their relationship's future. The media gradually picked up on signs of their reconciliation, though both William and Kate had become more skilled at maintaining their privacy. They chose their public appearances carefully, often attending events where photography was restricted or where they could blend in with larger crowds. Their renewed relationship was more private but also more secure, built on a deeper understanding of each other's needs and the challenges they would face together. By the autumn of 2007, it was clear to those close to them that William and Kate's relationship had not only survived their separation, but had emerged stronger. They had learned to communicate more effectively about the pressures they faced and had developed strategies for protecting their relationship from external interference. The crisis that had temporarily driven them apart had ultimately taught them invaluable lessons about love, commitment, and the strength required to maintain a relationship under extraordinary circumstances. Kate's relationship with William's family also deepened during this period. She began to understand the complex dynamics of royal life and the sacrifices required from those who chose to be part of it. Her natural warmth and genuine interest in others made her popular among William's friends and family members, who began to see her as a stabilizing influence in his life. The Christmas of 2007 marked a significant milestone in their renewed relationship. For the first time, Kate was invited to spend part of the holiday period with William's family at their private estate. This invitation signaled a new level of acceptance and recognition of their relationship's importance. Kate handled the formal aspects of royal protocol with grace while maintaining her natural personality, impressing even the most traditional members of the royal household. As 2008 began, both William and Kate had grown from their experience of separation and reconciliation. They had tested their love under the most challenging circumstances and found it to be genuine and enduring. The lessons learned during their time apart had prepared them for the next phase of their relationship, though neither could predict the additional challenges and joys that lay ahead. Their story had become one of second chances and the power of true love to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The young couple, who had met in a university lecture hall, had weathered their first major crisis and emerged with a deeper understanding of themselves and each other. The foundation was now in place for a relationship that would eventually captivate the world and redefine what it meant to be a modern royal couple. The transition from university life to the real world proved more challenging than either William or Kate had anticipated. After graduation, William began his military training at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, while Kate returned to London to start her career. The physical distance between them was manageable, but the emotional pressure of their increasingly public relationship began to take its toll. Kate found herself under constant surveillance by photographers, who followed her every move. Simple activities like grocery shopping or meeting friends for coffee became elaborate operations requiring careful planning. The British tabloid newspapers had discovered their newest obsession, dubbing her Weighty Katie and speculating endlessly about when William might propose. The nickname stung deeply, suggesting that she was merely marking time until marriage rather than building her own career and identity. Despite the media attention, Kate was determined to forge her own path. She took a job as an accessories buyer for the fashion retailer Jigsaw, where she worked diligently to prove herself based on merit rather than her famous boyfriend. Her colleagues found her to be hardworking and down-to-earth, never using her royal connection for special treatment. Kate threw herself into learning about fashion trends and retail management, finding genuine satisfaction in the work, despite the photographers waiting outside the office each day. William's military training at Sandhurst was rigorous and demanding. The young prince had to prove himself alongside his fellow officer cadets, many of whom came from military families with generations of service. His royal status meant nothing during grueling exercises and demanding academic coursework. William appreciated the meritocracy of military life, where success depended entirely on performance rather than birth. However, the intense schedule left little time for maintaining his relationship with Kate. Their phone conversations became precious, moments of connection in increasingly busy lives. Kate would wait for William's calls after long days of military exercises, while he looked forward to hearing about her experiences in the fashion world. They supported each other through difficult periods, with Kate providing emotional encouragement when William struggled with particularly challenging aspects of his training, and William offering reassurance when the media pressure became overwhelming for Kate. The couple's first major test came during the Christmas holidays of 2006. Royal protocol dictated that only family members could join the traditional Christmas celebrations at Sandringham, which meant Kate would spend the holidays with her own family while William fulfilled his royal obligations. The separation highlighted the fundamental differences between their worlds and raised questions about how their relationship could work within the constraints of royal life. Kate spent Christmas Day at her family's home in Berkshire. Surrounded by the warmth and chaos of a typical middle-class family celebration, her parents noticed the strain their daughter was under, watching as she checked her phone constantly for messages from William and flinched whenever cars passed by their house, wondering if photographers were still watching. The contrast between her normal family life and the scrutiny of her public existence was becoming increasingly difficult to manage. Meanwhile, William fulfilled his duties at Sandringham, participating in the traditional Christmas morning walk to church and the formal family dinner. However, his mind was elsewhere, thinking about Kate spending Christmas without him and wondering if the demands of royal life would ultimately prove too much for their relationship. His grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, noticed his distraction and privately expressed concern about the young woman's ability to cope with the pressures of royal life. The new year brought increased speculation about their relationship. Every public appearance was analyzed for signs of trouble or hints of engagement. Kate's every outfit choice was scrutinized, with fashion experts and royal watchers debating the significance of her clothing selections. The constant analysis of their body language and facial expressions during rare public appearances together created additional pressure on what should have been natural interactions between two young people in love. In March 2007, William completed his officer training and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Blues and Royals Regiment. Kate attended the passing out ceremony, marking one of her first official appearances at a royal military event. She looked elegant and composed despite the dozens of cameras focused on her, but those close to her could see the strain in her eyes. The pressure of being constantly photographed and analyzed was taking its toll on her mental health and well-being. The couple's relationship faced its greatest challenge yet during William's attachment to various military units. His training with the RAF and Royal Navy required frequent travel and long periods of separation from Kate. The distance, combined with the relentless media pressure, began to create cracks in their relationship. They found themselves arguing more frequently during their limited time together, with both feeling frustrated by circumstances beyond their control. Kate began to question whether she was strong enough for a lifetime of royal scrutiny. The woman who had once been confident and carefree was becoming increasingly anxious about public appearances and media attention. She started declining social invitations to avoid photographers and found herself analyzing every word she spoke in public for potential misinterpretation. The spontaneity that had attracted William to her was being crushed under the weight of royal expectations. William, too, was struggling with the demands placed on their relationship. His military commitments were important to him, representing his chance to serve his country in a meaningful way beyond ceremonial duties. However, he could see the toll the separation and media attention were taking on Kate. He felt torn between his duty to his military career and his love for the woman who might one day be his queen. The breaking point came in April 2007, during a conversation that would temporarily end their relationship. Both recognized that they needed time apart to evaluate their individual paths and determine if their love was strong enough to overcome the enormous challenges they faced. The decision to separate was mutual but heartbreaking, representing the first major crisis in a relationship that had weathered years of increasing pressure. News of their breakup dominated headlines across Britain and around the world. Speculation ran wild about the reasons for their separation, with various sources offering conflicting explanations. Kate maintained her dignity throughout the media frenzy, refusing to comment publicly on their private relationship and continuing to focus on her work and family. The silence she maintained spoke volumes about her character and her understanding of royal protocol. Even in her darkest moments, the separation period would prove crucial for both William and Kate, forcing them to confront their individual identities and determine what they truly wanted from life. It was a test of their love that would ultimately strengthen their relationship, but in those early days of separation, the future remained uncertain for two young people who had found love in the most unlikely of circumstances. The years following William and Kate's reconciliation were marked by a careful balance between public duty and private happiness. William had completed his military training and was preparing for his role as a search and rescue helicopter pilot with the Royal Air Force, a position that would take him to RF Valley in Wales. This career choice represented his desire to serve in a meaningful capacity while also providing some distance from the intense London media scene that had caused so much stress in their relationship. Kate's role during this period was complex and often misunderstood by the public. She was not yet officially part of the royal family, yet she was expected to behave with the dignity and discretion of someone who might one day be queen. She continued working with her family's business, while carefully navigating the expectations placed upon her as William's long-term girlfriend. Every outfit choice, every public appearance, and every charitable involvement was analyzed for hints about her future role. The couple's decision to move to Wales together marked a significant step forward in their relationship. They rented a farmhouse on the island of Anglesey, creating their first proper home together away from the pressures of royal life in London. The Welsh countryside provided the privacy and normalcy they had been seeking, allowing them to establish domestic routines that felt remarkably ordinary despite their extraordinary circumstances. William's work as a search and rescue pilot proved to be deeply fulfilling for him. The job required genuine skill, bravery, and dedication, providing him with a sense of purpose beyond his royal duties. He participated in dramatic rescues, saving lives in dangerous conditions around the Welsh coast and mountains. The work was demanding and sometimes dangerous, but it allowed him to serve his country in a way that felt authentic and meaningful. Kate established her own routine in Wales, dividing her time between supporting William's career and continuing her work with party pieces. She became actively involved in local community activities, quietly volunteering for charitable organizations and supporting local businesses. Her approach was deliberately low-key, as she was still learning to navigate the complex expectations surrounding royal charitable work and public appearances. The isolation of their Welsh life provided precious opportunities for the couple to strengthen their relationship without constant media scrutiny. They entertained friends at their farmhouse, explored the beautiful Welsh countryside together, and enjoyed simple pleasures like cooking dinner and watching films. These ordinary moments were extraordinary for a couple, whose every public appearance was dissected by royal watchers and media commentators. However, the pressure of ongoing engagement speculation never fully disappeared. Every royal wedding or family celebration brought renewed questions about when William might propose to Kate. The media scrutinized her ring finger at public events, analyzed her body language for signs of pregnancy, and interviewed supposed friends and family members for insights into their private lives. The constant speculation created an underlying tension that both William and Kate had to learn to manage. Kate's relationship with William's family continued to develop during this period. She spent increasing amounts of time with Prince Charles and Camilla, learning about the charitable work and public duties that would eventually become part of her own role. Her natural warmth and genuine interest in others made these relationships relatively easy, though she was always conscious of the formal protocols that governed royal family interactions. The tragic death of William's grandfather, Prince Philip's father-in-law, in 2009 provided Kate with an opportunity to demonstrate her understanding of royal protocol and her supportive role in William's life. She attended the funeral as William's companion, handling the solemn occasion with appropriate dignity while providing emotional support to William during a difficult time. Her behavior during this period impressed even the most skeptical members of the royal household staff. As 2010 progressed, it became increasingly clear that William and Kate's relationship was moving toward marriage. Their friends began to notice subtle changes in their conversations about the future, with both speaking more concretely about long-term plans and shared goals. William had begun the complex process of seeking his grandmother's formal permission for marriage, a requirement that reflected both constitutional necessity and family tradition. The proposal planning required extraordinary secrecy and coordination. William wanted to create a romantic and meaningful moment for Kate while also managing the inevitable media frenzy that would follow their announcement. He chose his mother's engagement ring, a stunning sapphire surrounded by diamonds, as a way of including Princess Diana in their special moment and honoring her memory and their future together. The actual proposal took place during a private holiday in Kenya in October 2010. William had planned the moment carefully, choosing a location that held special meaning for them both and ensuring they would have complete privacy for such an intimate moment. When he presented his mother's ring to Kate, the emotion of the moment was overwhelming for both of them. Kate's acceptance was immediate and joyful. Though both understood that their engagement would change their lives forever, the couple agreed to keep their engagement secret for several weeks, allowing them to savor their happiness privately before sharing the news with their families and the world. These precious weeks of secrecy were among the last truly private moments they would enjoy as a couple. They told their immediate families first, with Kate's parents expressing their joy and pride at their daughter's happiness. While William's family welcomed Kate officially into the royal fold, the engagement announcement on November 16, 2010, created a media sensation that exceeded even the couple's expectations. The official photographs showed a radiant Kate wearing Diana's ring and a brilliant blue dress that complemented the sapphire perfectly. Their joint interview revealed a mature, thoughtful couple who understood the significance of their commitment both to each other and to the British people. Kate's transformation from university student to future princess had taken nearly a decade, marked by challenges, separations, reconciliations, and personal growth. The woman who accepted William's proposal was confident, gracious, and prepared for the extraordinary life that lay ahead. Her journey from middle-class commoner to future queen consort represented a modern fairy tale, but one grounded in genuine love, mutual respect, and careful preparation for the responsibilities they would share. The engagement period would bring its own challenges and joys, as the couple prepared not only for their wedding but for a lifetime of public service together. The foundation they had built over years of careful courtship would now be tested on the world's largest stage, with millions of people watching their every move and hoping for a royal romance that would inspire and endure. The months between William and Kate's engagement announcement and their wedding were a whirlwind of preparation, protocol, and unprecedented global attention. Kate found herself thrust into an intensive training program designed to prepare her for life as a senior member of the royal family. She worked with protocol experts to learn the intricacies of royal etiquette, studied constitutional history to understand her future role, and practiced public speaking to prepare for the countless speeches she would give throughout her royal career. The wedding planning itself was a complex operation, involving multiple government departments, security agencies, and royal household staff. Every detail required careful consideration, from the guest list that would include heads of state from around the world to the flowers that would decorate Westminster Abbey. Kate worked closely with wedding planners while also consulting with William on decisions that would affect their special day and their public image as a married couple. Kate's transformation during this period was remarkable to observe. The shy young woman who had once hidden from photographers was gradually becoming more confident in public settings. She began accompanying William to official engagements, learning to handle media attention with grace and developing her own style of interaction with the public. Her natural warmth and genuine interest in people made these early appearances successful, though she was still learning to navigate the complex world of royal protocol. The pressure of planning a wedding that would be watched by billions of people around the world was immense. Kate worked with dress designers in absolute secrecy, creating a gown that would honor royal tradition while reflecting her own personal style. The security surrounding her dress design was extraordinary, with even the seamstresses required to sign confidentiality agreements to prevent any details from leaking to the media. William's own preparations for marriage involved balancing his continuing military duties with his increasing royal responsibilities. He was determined to maintain his career as a search and rescue pilot for as long as possible, valuing the sense of purpose and normalcy it provided. However, he also understood that his marriage to Kate would mark the beginning of a new phase in his life, one that would require greater dedication to royal duties and public service. The couple's final months of engagement were marked by increasing media attention and public excitement about the upcoming wedding. Kate handled the pressure with remarkable composure, though those close to her could see the strain of constant scrutiny. She continued to maintain her relationships with longtime friends while also building new connections within royal circles, carefully balancing her old life with her new responsibilities. The week before the wedding brought Kate's family to London for final preparations and rehearsals. The contrast between the Middletons' middle-class background and the grandeur of royal palaces was stark, but Kate's parents handled the transition with dignity and grace. They had raised their daughter to be confident and adaptable, qualities that served her well during this overwhelming period. April 29, 2011. Dawned bright and clear in London, setting the stage for what would become one of the most watched weddings in history. Kate spent the morning at the Goring Hotel with her family, sharing quiet moments together before the ceremony that would change her life forever. Her transformation into a bride was meticulous and meaningful, with her dress representing months of careful planning and design. Work. The journey from the hotel to Westminster Abbey in the Rolls-Royce state limousine was both thrilling and terrifying for Kate. The streets of London were lined with millions of well-wishers who had come from around the world to celebrate the royal wedding. The crowds were enormous and enthusiastic, their cheers and applause creating an atmosphere of genuine joy and celebration. As Kate entered Westminster Abbey on her father's arm, the magnitude of the moment was overwhelming. The ancient church was filled with royalty, heads of state, and celebrities from around the world, all gathered to witness her marriage to William. Her dress, a masterpiece of lace and silk, was perfectly suited to the grandeur of the occasion while maintaining an elegance that was unmistakably Kate's own style. The wedding ceremony itself was a perfect blend of royal tradition and personal touches that reflected William and Kate's relationship. Their vows were traditional but heartfelt, spoken with genuine emotion that was visible to everyone present. The moment when William placed his grandmother's ring on Kate's finger was particularly poignant, symbolizing not only their commitment to each other but also Kate's acceptance into the royal family. The congregation's singing of hymns chosen by the couple filled the abbey with beautiful music that seemed to lift everyone's spirits. Kate's brother James delivered a reading with confidence and warmth, representing her family's full participation in the ceremony. The Archbishop of Canterbury's words about marriage and commitment resonated throughout the ancient building, adding solemnity to the joyful occasion. The carriage ride back to Buckingham Palace was a triumph for the new Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. The crowds lining the route were even larger and more enthusiastic than those they had encountered on the way to the Abbey. Kate's transition from commoner to royal duchess was complete, marked by the genuine affection of the British people, who had watched her journey with increasing admiration and respect. The appearance on the Buckingham Palace balcony was a moment of pure joy for both William and Kate. Their kiss, witnessed by hundreds of thousands of people gathered in front of the palace and millions more watching on television around the world, was a perfect conclusion to a perfect day. Kate's radiant smile and William's obvious happiness showed that beneath all the pageantry and protocol, this was fundamentally a celebration of two people deeply in love. The wedding reception provided the couple with their first opportunity to relax and celebrate with their closest family and friends. The formal lunch was followed by a more intimate evening party where the new Duke and Duchess could dance and enjoy themselves without the pressure of television cameras and global audiences. These precious private moments allowed them to process the significance of their wedding day and begin their married life together. As the celebrations concluded and the couple prepared for their honeymoon, both understood that their wedding had marked not just the beginning of their marriage, but also their formal entry into a lifetime of public service. The young woman who had once been a university student studying art history was now the Duchess of Cambridge, destined to one day become Queen Consort. The journey from that first meeting in a St. Andrew's lecture hall to their wedding day had been long and sometimes difficult, but it had prepared them both for the extraordinary life they would now share together. The early years of William and Kate's marriage established them as a modern, royal couple who could balance tradition with authenticity. After their honeymoon, they returned to their cottage in Wales, where William continued his work as a search and rescue pilot while Kate began to develop her own role within the royal family. This period allowed them to ease into married life while gradually increasing their royal duties in public appearances. Kate's evolution into a working member of the royal family was carefully managed and thoughtfully executed. She began by supporting established charities before developing her own charitable interests, focused on early childhood development, mental health, and the arts. Her background in art history proved valuable as she became patron of several cultural organizations, bringing genuine knowledge and passion to these roles rather than simply fulfilling ceremonial obligations. The birth of Prince George in July 2013 marked a transformative moment for both William and Kate. Becoming parents added a new dimension to their relationship and their public roles. Kate handled the intense media attention surrounding the birth with characteristic grace, appearing on the hospital steps with William and their newborn son just hours after delivery. Her natural maternal instincts and obvious joy in motherhood endeared her further to the British. Public parenthood brought out new qualities in both William and Kate. William proved to be a hands-on father who was determined to give his children as normal a childhood as possible despite their royal status. Kate embraced motherhood completely, often speaking about the joys and challenges of raising children in the public eye. Their approach to parenting reflected their own values while respecting the traditions and expectations of the royal family. The arrival of Princess Charlotte in 2015 and Prince Louis in 2018 completed their family and further demonstrated Kate's natural ease with motherhood. Each birth was handled with increasing confidence, and Kate's ability to appear poised and beautiful just hours after giving birth became legendary. Her approach to royal motherhood set new standards for combining family life with public duty. Throughout these years, Kate's charitable work deepened and expanded. Her focus on early childhood development led to groundbreaking research and initiatives that had real impact on families across Britain. She used her platform to highlight important issues like mental health awareness and the importance of outdoor education for children. Her work was substantive rather than merely ceremonial, reflecting her genuine commitment to making a difference. The couple's relationship with the media evolved significantly during this period. They became more strategic about controlling access to their family life while remaining accessible for official duties. Kate developed a particular skill for managing public events, always appearing relaxed and engaged while maintaining appropriate royal dignity. Her fashion choices became influential worldwide, with the Kate effect driving sales for British designers and high street brands alike. William's career transition from military service to full-time royal duties was made smoother by Kate's unwavering support. She understood the significance of his decision to leave the Air Force and dedicate himself completely to royal service. Together, they developed a partnership approach to their royal duties that maximized their impact while allowing each to pursue their individual interests and strengths. The tragic death of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022 marked another significant transition for William and Kate. Their new titles as Prince and Princess of Wales came with increased responsibilities and expectations. Kate's handling of this transition period demonstrated her complete integration into the royal family and her understanding of the constitutional significance of their roles. Kate's relationship with King Charles III and Queen Camilla grew stronger during this period of change. Her respectful approach to royal protocol and her obvious devotion to William and their children earned her a special place within the family hierarchy. She became known as a stabilizing influence who could navigate family dynamics with diplomacy and warmth. The couple's approach to raising their children reflected their desire to combine royal tradition with modern parenting methods. They enrolled George, Charlotte, and Louis in regular schools and encouraged their participation in ordinary childhood activities like sports and music lessons. Kate's involvement in their education was hands-on and thoughtful, ensuring they understood their royal heritage while developing as independent individuals throughout their journey from university sweethearts to senior royals. The silence that often characterized Kate's public demeanor spoke volumes about her character and values. Her discretion, loyalty, and grace under pressure demonstrated her understanding of the unique demands of royal life. She rarely gave interviews or made public statements beyond her official duties, allowing her actions and charitable work to speak for themselves. The gesture that truly spoke volumes about William and Kate's love story was their unwavering commitment to each other through every challenge and transition. From university students to new parents to senior royals, they maintained a partnership built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine affection. Their ability to present a united front while allowing each other space to grow and develop individually became a model for modern royal marriages. Kate's transformation from a shy university student to a confident future queen demonstrated remarkable personal growth and strength. She never lost her essential warmth and humanity while developing the skills necessary for her unique role. Her journey proved that authenticity and royal duty could coexist, creating a new template for what it meant to marry into the British royal family. As William and Kate look toward the future, their love story continues to evolve. The foundation built during their university years has supported them through every challenge and celebration. Their silence during difficult periods and their grace during triumphant moments have spoken volumes about their character and their commitment to each other. And to the British people, the couple, who met in a lecture hall and fell in love over discussions of Renaissance art have become symbols of enduring love and dedicated public service. Their story proves that fairy tale endings are possible when built on genuine affection, mutual respect, and shared commitment to something larger than themselves. In a world of constant change and uncertainty, William and Kate's love story provides hope and inspiration for the transformative power of true partnership. The morning sun cast long shadows across the stone courtyard of St. Andrew's University as William Arthur Philip Louis Mountbatten Windsor walked briskly toward his first art history lecture. It was September 2001, and the young prince had deliberately chosen this Scottish university to escape the constant spotlight that followed him everywhere. He pulled his baseball cap lower over his eyes, hoping to blend in with the other students, rushing to their morning classes. William had always been different from other royal children. While his younger brother Harry was known for his mischievous pranks and carefree attitude, William carried the weight of his future role as king even in his teenage years. The tragic death of his mother, Princess Diana, 4 years earlier had changed him profoundly. The boy who once smiled easily at photographers now preferred the shadows, seeking normalcy in a life that was anything but normal. As he entered the lecture hall, William's eyes scanned the room for an empty seat. The professor, Dr. Richardson, was already setting up slides for the day's discussion about Renaissance art. Students chatted quietly among themselves, most unaware that the future King of England was sitting just a few rows behind them. William had specifically requested that his royal protection officers remain outside the building, giving him the precious gift of anonymity he craved. That Tuesday morning would prove to be more significant than he could have imagined. As Dr. Richardson dimmed the lights and began his presentation on Italian masterpieces, a young woman with long brown hair slipped quietly into the seat beside William. She whispered a soft apology for being late, her voice carrying a gentle accent that suggested she wasn't from Scotland. William glanced sideways and found himself looking at the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. Catherine Elizabeth Middleton had her own reasons for choosing St. Andrews. The daughter of middle-class entrepreneurs from Berkshire, she had worked hard to earn her place at the prestigious university. Her parents, Michael and Carol Middleton, had built their party supply business from the ground up, instilling in their daughter the values of hard work and determination. Kate, as her friends called her, was studying art history with dreams of working in a museum or gallery after graduation. She had no idea that the quiet young man sitting next to her was second in line to the British throne. To Kate, he was simply another student who seemed as nervous about university life as she was. When Dr. Richardson asked the class to discuss their thoughts on a particular painting in pairs, Kate turned to William with a warm smile that made his heart skip a beat. Their conversation flowed naturally as they discussed the symbolism in Renaissance art. William found himself relaxing for the first time in months. Kate's genuine interest in the subject and her thoughtful observations impressed him. She didn't treat him differently because she didn't know who he was, and for those precious minutes, William felt like a normal 20-year-old university student. As the weeks passed, William and Kate often found themselves sitting together in lectures. Their friendship grew slowly and naturally. Kate learned about William's love of photography and his struggles with the constant media attention. She shared her own dreams of working in the art world and her close relationship with her family. Neither rushed into anything deeper than friendship, both valuing the comfort they found in each other's company. The turning point came during a charity fashion show in March 2002. Kate had agreed to model in the event to raise money for charity, something that required courage from the typically reserved young woman. As she walked down the makeshift runway in a stunning black dress, every eye in the room followed her graceful movements. But none watched more intently than William, who sat in the front row with his mouth slightly open in amazement. That evening marked the beginning of a deeper connection between them. After the show, William approached Kate with genuine admiration in his eyes. He told her how incredible she had looked on the runway, and for the first time, Kate saw something more than friendship in his expression. They talked until the early hours of the morning, sharing hopes, fears, and dreams under the Scottish stars. Their relationship developed away from the public eye. Protected by the ancient walls of St. Andrews and the discretion of their fellow students, they studied together in the university library, took long walks along the beaches of Fife, and attended student parties where they could dance and laugh without cameras capturing every moment. Kate learned to navigate the complexities of dating someone whose every move was of interest to the world's media, while William discovered what it meant to be loved for who he was rather than what he represented. The couple's first summer together was spent quietly, with Kate joining William for private moments at royal residences and William meeting Kate's family at their modest home in Berkshire. The contrast between their backgrounds could not have been greater, yet their families welcomed each other warmly. Kate's parents were impressed by William's genuine nature and his obvious love for their daughter, while William appreciated the normal family dynamic that the Middletons provided. As their university years progressed, William and Kate's relationship deepened. They moved into a shared house with two other students, creating a domestic routine that felt remarkably ordinary despite the extraordinary circumstances. Kate learned to cook William's favorite meals while he helped her with photography assignments. They supported each other through exams, celebrated successes together, and comforted each other during difficult times. The media began to take notice during their final year at university. Photographers started appearing around St. Andrews more frequently, and Kate found herself thrust into a spotlight she had never sought. The pressure was immense for a young woman who had grown up in relative obscurity. Yet she handled the attention with grace and dignity that impressed even the most cynical royal watchers. Their graduation day in June 2005 marked the end of their protected university bubble. As they walked across the stage to receive their degrees, both knew that their relationship would now be subjected to intense scrutiny. The real world awaited, with all its challenges and complications. But the foundation they had built over 4 years of genuine friendship and love would prove strong enough to weather whatever storms lay ahead.